Long before Egypt, long before humanity carved its first cities from stone, there was Sumer, a mysterious civilization that appeared suddenly, fully formed, with no prehistoric roots. They gave us the first laws, writing, astronomy, mathematics, and stories of gods who descended from the sky. They called them Anunnaki, those who came from heaven to earth. But who were they really? Myth? Gods? Or the first engineers of humankind? In southern Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, ruins of Sumer tell of something impossible. Around 4000 BC, cities like Eridu, Uruk, and Nippur rose from the desert with organized laws, irrigation, agriculture, and astronomy, all at once. There was no slow climb from primitive tribes, no gradual invention of writing. Cuneiform tablets, some older than the pyramids, show advanced math and star maps. Archaeologists admit Sumer appeared out of nowhere. Their own legends claimed they didn't invent their knowledge. It was given to them by gods who descended from the heavens. According to Sumerian text, the world was ruled by beings called the Anunnaki, powerful, radiant figures who lived for thousands of years. They taught early humans agriculture, metallurgy, medicine, and architecture. Each major city had its own god, Enki, Enlil, Inanna, Ninhursag, rulers who governed humanity as kings. But the tablets describe them not as spirits or myths, but as flesh and blood beings who ate, drank, and even quarreled. Their home was Nibiru, a mysterious planet of the crossing, said to pass near Earth every few millennia. To the Sumerians, these weren't metaphors. They were history. Among the most astonishing texts is the Enuma Elish and the Epic of Atrahasis, describing how the Anunnaki created humans. They claimed humans were engineered as a hybrid species, formed from the genetic material of the gods, mixed with the clay of Earth. The reason? To serve as workers, mining gold and building cities after the Anunnaki grew weary of labor. It's a story eerily similar to Genesis, where man was created from dust in the image of God. But these Sumerian tablets predate the Bible by thousands of years. Were they myths that inspired religion? Or memories of a real genetic intervention by beings far more advanced? Sumerian carvings show the Anunnaki holding strange devices, wristbands, boxes, and a bag symbol found in temples across the world, from Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica. Some depictions show them wearing what looks like helmets, even flying craft shaped like rockets. Skeptics call this coincidence, but how did identical symbols appear in civilizations that supposedly never met? If the Anunnaki shared their knowledge with early humans, could that explain the sudden explosion of architecture and science after 3000 BC? Maybe divine power was simply advanced technology, misunderstood by ancient eyes. The tablets don't just tell stories of peace. They describe rebellion and civil war among the Anunnaki themselves. Enlil sought to control humanity. Enki wished to enlighten them. Their conflict climaxed in a catastrophic flood meant to wipe humans from the earth, echoing the flood myths found in every culture, from Noah to Gilgamesh. Yet one man, warned by Enki, survived. He was called Ziusudra, or as we know him, Noah. Could the global flood, remembered by countless civilizations, have been the final act of the Anunnaki on Earth? The Sumerians believed the Anunnaki left Earth, but promised to return when their planet Nibiru completed its orbit. Some researchers claim Nibiru's long elliptical path could bring it close to Earth every 3,600 years. Modern astronomers have speculated about a planet X beyond Neptune, an unseen massive body that disturbs the orbits of other planets. Coincidence? Or ancient memory resurfacing in modern science? If the Anunnaki truly existed, they may not be gone. They may simply be waiting for their next return. Mainstream historians insist these stories are myths, allegories for natural forces, not alien engineers. Yet the precision of Sumerian astronomy remains baffling. They knew of all the planets, including Uranus and Neptune, invisible to the naked eye. They described their orbits, relative distances, and even the structure of our solar system, 6,000 years before telescopes existed. If they were guessing, how did they guess everything right? Perhaps what we call myth is distorted history, truths encoded as legend by civilizations who could only describe gods in the language they knew. Whether gods or teachers, the Anunnaki vanished, but their influence spread across the world. The same winged symbols appear in Egypt, Babylon, the Mayan world, and even on the walls of ancient Persia. Pyramids, ziggurats, and sacred mountains all echo the same message: connection between heaven and earth. Every ancient culture worshipped beings descending from the sky, teaching wisdom and demanding obedience. Maybe the Anunnaki weren't local myths, but the shared memory of humanity's first encounter with the stars. If the Sumerians were right, then humanity's history didn't begin on Earth. We began as a project, a creation, a hybrid species forged for purpose. But when our makers left, we inherited their world. Perhaps that's why every civilization reaches for the sky, builds towers, and dreams of flight. We're trying to return to where we came from. So were the Anunnaki gods, aliens, or something else entirely. Maybe the answer isn't out there among the stars. Maybe it's buried deep within us.